Ever feel like you're standing outside the glittering gates of the creative industry? You know, watching everyone else walking in and wondering, how do I even get through those doors? Well, join the club, literally. I am Michelle, and this is the Uninvited Podcast. Okay, Derek, now that we got past the velvet rope, we challenged the gatekeepers and we found out where you would like to be invited next, let's have a little after party to celebrate. I would love to know, what's your dream party? Who is there? Where is it? And what's the dress code?
Well, I never thought about that, but some of the events that I went to in the past were fantastic. I'd love to maybe take some LSD and go back there in my head. The best event I think I ever went to was when I was 16. I went to something called the 14-Hour Technicolour Dream that was in Alexandra Palace. I'd love to go back there. And it didn't have a camera in those days. And that was a good one.
Sounds fun.
It was fun. John Lennon was there. I personally didn't see him there, but he was there. And Yoko Ono was there, and she did her cut piece thing. I think I was the first person they asked to get involved. Someone walked up to me and handed me some scissors and said, "Would you cut the lady's dress off?" And of course I thought it was a wind-up, being a schoolboy, and very naive. I wouldn't do it. But I did hang about to see other people doing it, and eventually I did then have a go. And I had the little piece of this dress for probably decades. I don't know where it is now. I've lost it. But I did keep it for a while, a bit of dress.
What's the most unforgettable part you're ever been to, good or bad?
Well, I did go to a great party in Cannes. I've been to a few really good parties in Cannes, but I once went to one that was on the top floor of the Carlton in Cannes, and it was the most exclusive party of that year. It was full of very big actors, people like Bruce Willis. He was there, and it was so exclusive. They didn't have any security on the. You could just walk up and go to it, and we were told about it by Lloyd Kaufman, a film director, and we said, well, we don't have a ticket, and he said, oh, just go and tell him you're me. Well, there was two of us. Neither of us looked like Lloyd Kaufman, and everyone knew what Lloyd Kaufman were anyway. But when we went up there wasn't anyone to stop you going in. But it was extremely exclusive, and we went round drinking their drink, eating their food, and I was taking photographs, and the writer I was with was annoying everybody. And we'd been there probably 2 or 3 hours enjoying ourselves, and eventually when we were leaving we saw some security coming up the stairs in order to chuck us out, but we were already going. Yeah,
that's a fun one.
Well, I know I don't never mind being chucked out of places, because the thing is, you've arrived if you get chucked out, don't you? Yeah, I've been chucked out of quite a few places in my time.
So did
sometimes
I, but
physically.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, maybe we have to go back to that later. Is there a party you wish you had left earlier?
I don't know about that. I know I got to a party once where I gate crashed and I was the first person there. Now, this is, if you're ever going to gate crash a party, make sure you're not the first one, because you're going to really stick out and people are going to say at the door, who are you exactly?
Do you remember the party?
I do. That was at Cannes as well. And it was for a film called Starlet. And it was in the Cannes free sheets that you get every day. You used to get a few, probably don't get them now because of the internet, but back in the 80s, you get these free sheets. And they were trailing this party all week. And I thought, I've got to go to this one, Starlet. There's going to be lots of starlets there, and I could be able to photograph them. So anyway, I found out where the party was, and right in a villa overlooking Cannes. It was right up in the hills, so I had to get a cab up there. And I got up there, I knocked on the door. There wasn't any cars and no noise. And the woman opened the door. She looked at me and just stepped back and let me in. So I walked in, and I walked into this big room where the party was going to be, presumably. And there was only one other person there, and it was John Hurt, the actor. And he was lying on the sofa talking into a phone. And the lady that let me into the room asked me if I wanted a drink. And I said yes. It was a glass of white wine or champagne or something. Well, I drank that in about 5 minutes because it was quite hot. And the whole time I was there in this room, John Hurt ignored me completely. Just lying on the sofa talking loudly into a phone. All I could do was basically look out of the window, which is a beautiful picture window of Cannes. And that was a really beautiful view. But after about 10, 15 minutes, I start to feel really awkward. No one asked me what I was doing there.
But the good thing is that I feel like if you have a camera, you have almost all the time, all access. And that can be...
Yes, well, the thing is, I did have a camera, but I had it in my bag at the time. So I wasn't there as a photographer because I don't think they'd have let me in if they realised I was a photographer. But what happened eventually was when the party did eventually fill up, some of the other actors were very friendly, and I quite enjoyed it in the end. I got talking in the kitchen eventually to a American actor that had been in The Godfather Part 2, and he was really very, very nice guy. Carmine, I think his name was, and he told me about how he'd grown up in Brooklyn, and all his friends had actually been gangsters, and he just chose to become an actor.
I imagine as a photographer that perhaps you're there for 1 hour or two and you're like, well, I still haven't taken the picture that I wanted, or something exciting,
that's
cool.
Permanent. I mean, I'm always searching for one more decent picture, or every day, I'd love to take more pictures. But I don't actually have fear of missing out because, you see, I do realise it can't be everywhere. And I am missing out all the time. It's a permanent thing. So I don't have fear of it. I live with it. I'm comfortable with missing out.
That's great.
Yeah.
How do you move through a party? Are you mingling, observing, or standing in the corner of the room? I know the answer already.
Okay, well, I'm observing from the corner. I never do any mingling at all because, you see, even when I was young and, when I was I could have probably mingled a little bit. I was still thinking, whilst I'm chatting to this person, I might be missing a photograph then, So I think a lot of people thought I was not very friendly when I was young, but it wasn't that. I am friendly, but I don't want to be stuck chatting to someone for hours, at parties or in clubs.
Yeah, because if someone or something exciting is happening, you want to capture that.
Yeah, I can't say, oh, excuse me, I'm just going to go and photograph someone, when they're in the middle of telling me something.
Actually, I think that when we met at the 10 Magazine party, you were actually standing in the corner.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh, he's alone, but now it makes sense. I should have thought about it.
Yeah. Well, I would have been alone then. I didn't have anyone to talk to there, I don't think.
But that's why you go to a
party. Apart from you. And I think there might have been, oh, yes, I did. There was one other person that I knew there, but she didn't even notice me or speak to me. And she was talking to friends, so I didn't say hello. But I think, you were the only person I knew there, other than the lady who owned the magazine. But so I suppose I do miss out in that sense. I should, be a bit more sociable.
I guess that it all depends on the reason why you go to a party, and by default you are an observer, so it makes sense. Yeah,
I mean, I come from a family of very, very unsociable people. Anyway, I mean, when my parents were alive, I don't think I ever remember them ever having a dinner party. People never used to come round to dinner. There was one guy that sometimes would drop in for a cup of coffee at weekends, but that was about it. They weren't particularly sociable.
Yeah, but somehow then that's why you have photography. And
Yes.
for you, it's a medium to that's how you communicate with people.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, I suppose I'm an outsider, but would love to be an insider in my head somewhere. But I know I could never be.
You never know.
Yeah.
A moment at a party when you felt like a VIP.
Well, the only time I've ever felt like a VIP is when I've been with other people, important people, like, U2 or real big bands like that. Yeah, but you're just one of them, You feel it's almost like you're part of it.
It must feel quite incredible to perhaps spend the evening with them and feel like being part of their circle, and then like a Cinderella moment, and then go back to your reality somehow.
Yeah, I came back once with Depeche Mode on a tiny little private jet. But when I got back to Waterloo, I think, I still had to wait for a bus afterwards. Yeah.
Wow, that's...
So, an hour or so prior to that, I'd been on a private jet coming from France and then waiting for a bus to go home, because obviously the jet doesn't park outside your house.
It's all about the balance.
Yeah.
That must have been quite an experience.
Yeah.
Could they not arrange a taxi to take you
home?
Well,
yeah, very often people did used to do stuff like that, but in that particular occasion, they didn't.
And a moment when you felt like the uninvited guest?
Well, I feel like that quite a lot anyway, but that's just my mindset. Even when I'm with my own family, when I have quite a small family, but, even if there's, say, 8 or 9 of us, sometimes I'm sitting there, everyone's chatting, and I'm just sitting there, I feel uninvited sometimes even at my own parties.
I get that feeling.
It's just a mindset, really, I think, isn't it?
Yeah, as long as you're comfortable with that, I think it's okay.
Yeah, sure.
But also, as I said, you might think that the cool people, the established people, they might feel like that as well.
Yeah.
But from the outside,
I'm sure they probably do.
Yeah.
I mean, there is a dichotomy there. I do realize that I've become comfortable being an outsider, but in some part, my heart would want to be an insider. There is that dichotomy, but I don't think it'll ever be, I don't think I'll ever be able to resolve that. Too old, really.
I don't think it's actually about age.
No, I'm far too comfortable in the space I've found myself in now, though.
One song that must be played at your ideal party.
Well, at my wedding there was the Alice Coltrane tune Journey in Satchidananda, and I love that. I'd quite like that played at my funeral as well.
Wow.
It's not really a song, it's a tune. Jazz.
I have to look it up.
Yeah. No, it's from an album called Journey in Satchidananda.
And what's one song you never want to hear again at a party?
Well, I suppose that would have to be Hi Ho Silver Lining by Jeff Beck, because that used to get played all the time at parties when I was young.
Is it because it brings back some memories, or just because
not at all. I've
you have
heard
enough?
It enough for one lifetime.
3 things you always carry in your party bag.
Well, one would be a camera, possibly a bottle of water, and that's 2, isn't it? I think I can't think of anything else, actually. I mean,
that's all you need.
Yeah.
And
oh, hold on, I've thought about it. I need a pencil and paper to write people's names down, because I really always like to know their name.
yeah, and I remember listening to an interview, and you said that you wish you had taken more notes.
Yes, I should have taken more and better notes.
Now we have social media, so it's
yeah.
a bit easier to find people.
Yeah.
One last question. Your best party outfit ever?
Well, it would be all black, you know. Try not to get noticed.
Blend in with the walls.
Yeah. Really, I suppose, black, if you wear all black in some places, people are going to think you're staff. So probably even better than all black would be all dark grey. And then you're not going to look like security or something like that.
Yeah, and as an observer, probably it's the uniform.
Yes, that's it. Yeah.
Well, thank you once again, Derek, and I might see you at some parties at some
Well, let's
time.
hope so.
Let's hope so. Yeah, and let's invited or uninvited.
Yeah.
So whether you're on the list, crashing the gate, or building your own entrance, this is your invite to join the party.